Same thing gonna happen with Spence. They're gonna figure out some type of excuse why Terence Crawford was successful in the Canelo Alvarez fight.
I'm different. I'm an elite fighter. So that's the difference, big difference.
But after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never same after me.
Terence Crawford sent Canelo Alvarez a chilling message, saying he would defeat the Mexican icon with the same intensity he used against Errol Spence Jr. Backing up that threat, Terence Crawford spoke about how he believes Canelo will prepare for their upcoming fight, warning Alvarez not to underestimate him. Crawford mentioned that many narratives around this fight suggest Canelo has the advantage simply because of his longer career and time at the sport's pinnacle. Crawford stated that Canelo believes he's had so many fights that nothing can truly surprise him anymore.
I don't know. I just think, sometimes some fighters, they fight to their level of competition. And, I think he's definitely more experienced, more well-rounded, given the experience that he had in the Floyd Mayweather fight. So we shall see. No, he just seen a lot of fighters. He's been through the boxing game for a long time. He got a lot of experience, and in his heart and soul, he feel that I'm not gonna show him nothing new that he haven't seen before. No, not at all. He didn't fought southpaws, he didn't fought orthodox fighters. So, he's been in the ring with a lot of fighters, and in his mind, he don't see nothing new that I can bring to the.
Terence said more about what he believed, saying that this fight will be epic, like two legends battling to prove who is truly the best. He's confident he'll bring something unique to the table on September 13th. He says that while many fans focus on his power, it will be his technique and ring IQ that truly stand out when the lights go down.
I'm a legend too, so we got two legends fighting each other, and I'm definitely daring to be great, and I'm going to be great September 13th. I'm not taking no credit away from Canelo's skills. A lot of people, they only talk about his power, but he's very skillful in there, and he's respected.
Returning firing kind. When it came to Crawford, Canelo didn't hold back. He told Terence that he hopes Crawford is being paid well because he'll be a changed man after the fight. For Canelo, the message is simple. This fight isn't only about money. It's a chance to leave a permanent mark on Crawford's career.
We're gonna find out. And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter, but you're gonna find out. I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money, because it's gonna be the last. That's for sure.
It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never same after me.
However, Crawford made it clear that he isn't bothered by the no's. He spoke about how fans and critics might respond if he hands Canelo a defeat. He predicted that, just like after the Errol Spence fight, people will scramble to find excuses not to give him credit. Crawford sees it all as part of the game, and he's ready to silence doubts once again when the moment arrives.
They're gonna make excuses. The same thing happened with Spence.
Same thing gonna happen with Spence. They're gonna figure out some type of excuse why Terence Crawford was successful in the Canelo Alvarez fight.
You gonna retire if you win this fight, or you're gonna keep going?
I don't know. We shall see.
It is what it is. I got the style, I got the skills, I got the heart, and I'm not gonna sit around
And tensions escalated further at the fight when Canelo shoved Crawford, sparking a fiery exchange that almost turned into a full-blown brawl on the spot. Security had to intervene quickly to pull them apart before things got out of hand, fueling an already explosive showdown inside the ring. Canelo's fans immediately began shouting Mexico during the briefing, cheering him on with raised hands in a show of support. Reflecting on the shove afterward, Canelo Alvarez shared his thoughts on the incident, saying it only added fuel to his fire for what lies ahead. He made it clear that he's going in fully committed for the 13th, determined to settle things in the ring and anticipating a showdown that promises fireworks from the opening bell.
I'm turning on right now.
Right? Yeah. Did it make you want to go harder for the 13th?
I don't know, but made me feel more excited.
I love it.
I'm gonna train so far. You know, I've been in this sport like so many years. I had so many good fights in my career, and I had the experience to adapt myself to these kind of fighters. I fight everybody out there, every style, and I'm gonna do my job and put all my experience, all my talent there, and that's it. You know, I'm different. I'm a elite fighter, so that's the difference. Big difference.
Meanwhile, boxing commentator Sean Zittel spoke about the intense shove during the face-off, suggesting it appeared staged. He noted that moments like that often align with what event organizers, promoters, and fans are, hoping for an added dose of drama to elevate the atmosphere and inject more heat into an already massive showdown.
No. That's not, there's 30 security guards.
Oh, it feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used a big word that most of us don't know.
Sir, New York, that's a weak ass push by Canelo, and you know that is not Canelo. What he did with Caleb Plant, that was real. You know, he slipped him and then slapped him, and that was like, okay. This felt like, hey, social media saying you guys are being too friendly. We're paying you all this money. We're putting the knockout bonus there. Come on, we got a fight to sell. Let's heat this up a little bit. Obviously, they're both great fighters, and they're both coming to win, and you know, but you know, I don't want to get too deep into it today, but you know my thoughts on this, the big picture, like what's looming, the fight to me, because I'm the journalist, right, is an afterthought.
Adding to that perspective, Thiwe Idea shared his own take on the scuffle, noting that the tension felt different this time because of how fast everyone on stage moved in to break it up. He compared the whole scene to a game of tennis, with Crawford and Canelo taking turns stepping forward, sizing each other up, and raising the stakes every time they met. All of it set the stage for a fiery clash once the bell rings. Watch Terence.
Watch Terence. Terence is not stopping here. He's walking straight up to him, way past Dana. Here's halfway. He's like, nah, I'm meeting you at your front door. And he's backing him up. Oh, and then there's the shove. Look at Bomac. Look at Bomac. Oh, shit, we got everybody getting in there. Reynoso, security, Michael Buffer. It's a game of tennis. It's a game of back and forth, because this time Canelo walks up on Terence. Like, yeah, okay, you got that one off. Watch this. Now, I'm going to push you back a little bit. Yeah, see, I'm going to push you back just a little.
Looking back on Crawford's past fights, Sean Porter recalled Bud's battle with Errol Spence and how he overheard Crawford's team admit their fighter wasn't even sticking to a game plan. Porter later learned that Crawford himself confirmed it. He was so fired up for that fight that he threw his original strategy out the window. For Porter, it showed just how dangerous Crawford can be when he relies purely on instinct and raw determination.
On my way out of the room, I was talking to his cousin, a couple other people, and I think it might have been Shakur, but somebody said, yo, he didn't even have a game plan. I said, what? He said he didn't have a game plan. He was asking us what he should do before the fight.
Shakur specifically, right?
So I think it was Shakur that said that. So then I talked to Crawford after the fight, and I know I talked to him on the podcast about this specifically, but then I talked to him afterwards, and I said, stop saying you didn't have a game plan. You had a game plan. He said, look, Sean, we had a game plan, but in the locker room before the fight, I just was fired up. And he said he had, even walking out to the ring, he had it like, you know, just so much energy, passion, dog. He wanted to go right after her, you know? So using that story again to relate to everyone, you're right. That dog is gonna be there, and he understands that he has to be.
Echoing support for Crawford, Denzel Bentley, an English professional boxer, admitted he wasn't convinced by the matchup at first, believing Crawford had no business stepping up to face Canelo. That as the fight drew closer, Bentley's confidence in Crawford grew. Now, he feels Crawford has what it takes to pull off the upset, noting that fans haven't seen Canelo at his best in years, which makes this fight even more intriguing.
Oh man, at first I didn't like it. I was like, come on, don't do it, don't go up there, don't do it. But as it got closer, I'm believing in Crawford, man. I mean, I think he can pull it off. We haven't really seen the best of Canelo in years. I think his best days were at 160. When I think of it, that Danny Jacobs fight, that's probably the best performance I've seen Canelo in all these fights. I know he's had so many fights we have better performance, but in recent times, just the lateral movement, the elusiveness, the way he lets his shots go, the just effortless kind of movement and flowing of punches. He hasn't been that since then. Since he moved to 160.
Pushing his point further, Bentley wasn't shy about his assessment of Canelo's current form, describing him as little more than a behemoth searching for one big shot. He stated that Canelo's one sharp technique is gone, replaced by a slower, more static style with fewer punches thrown and minimal setup behind them. Bentley believes this change in style will give Crawford a chance to capitalize when they finally face off in the ring.
Just a powerhouse. He's slow with his feet, throws less punches than we've seen before. He's always looking for a big shot. That hardly sets anything up anymore. It's just his whole style has just changed, and it's worked for him because a lot of fighters go in there with that fear factor, like, oh my days, it's Canelo. Or he will wear you down at some point because he's so physical and strong, or when he hits you, you kind of don't want to know because he hits so hard. But I don't think Crawford's going to go in with that mindset. I think whatever Canelo brings, he's going to be able to match. He's got better feet. Even though at 154 his feet didn't look the best, but Majimov is a good mover. But he's got better feet, he can fight both ways, and I think he'll use more of his arsenal than what Canelo would use. So I think he would find it easier. So I think Crawford can beat him.
Tim Bradley agreed with that view, saying that if Canelo couldn't beat Charlo, he's unlikely to beat Crawford. Bradley had no doubts about his pick. He'd choose Crawford to defeat Canelo any day of the week, believing Crawford's style and precision will be too much for the Mexican star to handle.
Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo. Or you really think that he's gonna knock out Crawford? I would pick Terence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't gonna tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret.
On the other hand, Showbiz the adult shared his own opinion, saying the fight was already decided when Crawford faced Canelo. According to him, Crawford's body language during the stare-down revealed everything. He quickly realized that Canelo was on a higher level than he had ever seen in the sport. Crawford's subtle reactions showed he could already be mentally behind before the first punch is even thrown.
While the press conference was ending, I was already scripting this reaction video to talk about how His Excellency Turkey al-Sheikh has won the press conference until the bitter end, the face-off, and not just the face-off, the end. Can you please look at the end when Terence Bud Crawford made this face?
Once in a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Terence Bud Crawford, Arabia.
The fight is over. See, I've seen that face before. I saw that shit on Rocky 3 when Rocky Balboa was staring down Clubber Lane. Forget that. I saw that face when Rocky Balboa was in the pool and Apollo Creed said, one more lap.
Once in a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen.
That face is called the holy shit face. He stared down Canelo, and for the first time, he saw someone as great as himself. For the first time, he saw a killer.
Edgar Berlanga offered a balanced perspective, adding that anything can happen once the bell rings in boxing. While Berlanga leaned slightly toward Canelo due to his natural size and weight advantage, he didn't dismiss Crawford's threat for a moment. He emphasized that Crawford's technical skills are strong enough to challenge anyone, making this fight far from a foregone conclusion and adding plenty of excitement when they finally meet.
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that favor Canelo is that, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you can't.
Furthermore, Bob Arum didn't mince words when assessing Alvarez's current approach to the sport. According to Arum, Canelo no longer fights with the same passion to excite crowds, instead choosing to chase big money bouts above all else. For the veteran promoter, this suggests that Canelo's priorities have shifted, which could affect him when facing a hungry, motivated opponent.
Has shown in his last few fights that he's just a businessman. He's not in there to entertain the public. He just takes the big check. But again, if Canelo really fights, because I think it's safe to say Terence always fights. He doesn't know anything else. So then it could be a very good, interesting fight.
At the same time, Arum acknowledged Crawford's threat. He emphasized that the outcome of the fight will depend on which Canelo shows up, the warrior who fights for pride or the fighter chasing his next payday. Will Canelo bring his best or just come to cash a big check? The Canelo we've seen over the last 2 years seems not only dull, but also lacks the motivation to entertain fans with a great fight. Crawford's coach, Brian McIntyre, was quick to respond, stressing that styles make fights, and in his opinion, Crawford has the clear edge. He believes it has superior skills, smarter tactics, and a stronger mindset inside the ring. Confident in his fighter's preparation, McIntyre promised that Bud will handle business when they meet under the lights. Skills pay bills, he said. You have to be skilled to fight someone like Canelo. It's not just offense, you need defense too. Styles make fights. You need superior skills and a sharper mind. McIntyre also emphasized that he isn't worried about the need for raw power to hurt Canelo. For him, the goal is to outbox him. He feels that if Bud sticks to his plan and stays focused, the damage will come naturally. If Canelo slips or makes a mistake in the ring, Crawford will be sure to capitalize on it.